why we're here. We're going to talk a little bit about the pathway, a couple of changes to the program that are taking place, especially in terms of the support that's going to be on offer, and then the progression opportunities, as I've just mentioned. So when we're setting up programs like this, it's important to start with what the end looks like, with the end in mind. And we really hope that your time within the performance pathway is going to help you become a better handball player, a better athlete, a better student, and a better person. Because if we tick all those boxes, then we've really supported you in all aspects of your life, as opposed to just that handball piece, which can often get lost in sports development programs. And if there are any things that we can do to help you outside of the handball court, then we're more than happy to do so. I'm just going to take a moment to introduce some of the team. So I've got Sue Whitehead on the call. Sue?
Hi, everybody. For those that are obviously in the Northwest and coming back, I think most of you know me by now.
Thanks, Sue. We've got Liz Roberts on the call.
Hey, folks. Yeah, same as Sue. Hopefully you all know me by now. Just, don't worry, I will be bombarding you with spam messages and emails and, sending pigeons your way.
Thanks, Liz. I think we've still got Joao Castro on the call. Joao?
Hello, everyone. For those of you that were on DICE last year, you know me a little bit more. The others that were mainly in Regional Academy, you saw me fewer times due to COVID, but yeah, so I'm the elite performance coach based here in Loughborough College.
Thanks, Joao. We've got Chris McDermott on the call.
I think I know most of you from time on the regional program, especially on the lad side now, but yeah, good to see you all.
And Chris will be working with the Northwest boys this year, so Chris is moving region. And we've got Alexander Themis. Alexander, are you on the call?
Hello, yes I am. Hi guys, my name is Alexander Themis and I coach the performance boys for the Midlands.
Thanks, Alexander. So I think that's all the staff, unless I've missed anybody sneak in. Fantastic. So you would have noticed that there's some potential changes to the coaches in your region. We'll share some information a bit later that will go out with these slides, actually, because I've just finished the staffing structure for the new year, and we'll let you know who your coach is going to be for the incoming season, to know who you're working with. So just looking at what the pathway looks like, you guys are all sitting in this area here where my mouse cursor is, the Regional Academy Performance pathway, which is for under 18 players. So in that year 12 and year 13 age group. Some players may filter up and down into the development group, or up from the development group into the performance program, depending on their ability levels. And then from here, it's really about where does the program lead. So you should all be familiar with the Futures program that I'll talk about shortly. Already mentioned the Diploma in Sport and Excellence program, which the applications for this year have obviously taken place and are now closed, and we've selected our cohort for that, and the call will move on at 10 to 8 for the induction for that program. And then you'll be familiar with the Elite Performance program, I hope, that we have at Loughborough College, where I just alluded to it, and there's an extension into the first year of the university programs at Loughborough University. We've got 2 athletes that are joining that program this year that have come out of our DICE program, joining Loughborough University, and they'll be training alongside our full-time players at Loughborough College. And then there's the Great Britain Youth age groups, which kind of are the icing on top of the cake, if you want to look at it like that. So that's where ultimately we would like to get as many of you as possible, or at least at the standard where you're able to compete for a place in those youth age groups, and it all starts in the Regional Academy program for yourselves. The program this year, certainly from the under 18 performance perspective, is once again to supplement the development of the players. So it shouldn't be your sole source of handball. You should be getting a handball at your grassroots clubs, and coming into the performance pathway sessions, the Regional Academy sessions, to get additional core technical and tactical training to help develop your competencies, and hopefully progress you into those youth national team squads. The schedule for this year, I haven't put the dates on. These have already gone out in the performance calendar that was sent out a couple of weeks ago in the big Regional Academy email that I sent. But essentially, you guys who've been in the program before will recognise that it looks like this. So the academy is split into 3 blocks: block 1, block 2, and block 3. 3 sessions per block with a tournament at the end. The format for the tournament is yet to be confirmed. the players that were involved in the program last year were split into, the tournament program was split in July into 2 separate tournaments, so the Northwest versus the Midlands, and then in terms of the performance programs, and then the East Southeast and the Southwest competed at Stoke Mandeville as well. And we're going to look at the best program that we can put on for you guys in terms of the amount of games, the diversity of the teams you're playing, and so on. I'm relatively confident we'll have a team from Scotland competing in this tournament for the first time, so we're representing the team from Scotland to kind of add a little bit of additional challenge, and for our coaches, Great Britain coaches, to see those players in action as well. There'll be a tournament finale in July, as we did this year, and again the format of that will be confirmed, when we're ready to announce the format. At the end of each block, you should be receiving your feedback from your regional academy coaches. This didn't really take place last year due to the nature of the program. It was very online based, very difficult to assess players all the way through. So this format will come back into it. This is what we've done typically, is offer that feedback at the end of each block, because you're kind of getting assessed by by various coaches at those tournaments in December, April and July. We're hoping players can strive for 80% attendance. We know that this has been a real challenge with the COVID issues that have been going on throughout the last 18 months or so. And obviously that's taken into consideration where isolations have to take place. But really, to get the best out of the program for yourselves, players should be looking at 80% as a minimum. The support that the players will receive throughout the program consists primarily, I would say, from the coaches. The dedicated coaching staff that we have are suitably qualified to work with you guys, and they undergo a pretty comprehensive development program to support them throughout the journey. So it isn't the coaches that are just qualified and that's it. We really try to support them in developing them as coaches, so that they can have the best possible impact on your development as a player as well. We've introduced some of the managers already. Pop, who's our Midlands Academy manager, is unavailable to join the call this evening, but essentially it's their role to support you guys with all the communication needs, operational logistical issues that need to be covered on the program. And this year we'd really encourage all players to take some ownership over their program to help develop some off-court skills. Of course, it's not trying to keep parents out of the picture, and I'll talk a little bit more about parents in a moment, but hopefully we can really help players start to manage their sporting commitments, especially around the performance pathway, a little bit better, with a little bit more ownership, and using the likes of the apps that the managers use, like Spond, can be really useful for that. Delighted to announce that we're going to be, well, we've actually signed the contract today with the gentleman, strength and conditioning coach, that's going to be working with the programs on a remote basis for the most part, but he will be attending some training sessions and training sessions and camps throughout the season. Really excellent chap. We'll introduce him formally when he's ready to do so. We only signed the contracts today, but it's a real nice layer of support that we've not had on the Regional Academy program so much over the last few years, and now we're investing in that as an organisation to make sure we can really help with that athletic development that you guys require to reach the higher standards on the court. And then just finally, we really recognise that we're working with people before we're working with players, and young people at that, and we appreciate the trials and tribulations that teenagers go through, and we'd like to just make everyone aware and reiterate that our levels of support extend beyond on-court issues. So if players are experiencing some issues off court, then we're more than happy to help with that where possible and where relevant. This could be in the form of mental health issues, especially relating to handball, and especially around things like anti-doping, mental health awareness and stuff like that. So please refer to the Regional Academy handbook for the relevant person to contact. The Talent Pathway handbook states which person is responsible for each department or each area, and also has the safeguarding contacts in there as well. Other bits of support I mentioned parents. Some of you that are on the call will remember that we have had parents reps program running in the past. Didn't launch it so well last year with COVID taking place and putting everything kind of like in a different kind of light. The program ran completely differently. This year we would like to relaunch the parents reps program. So we'd normally have one parent from each region working with us. Now we're going to have one parent from each region and age group, and gender as well. So hopefully we can get some of you out that would work to help. But just to be clear, it's not an extensive role. It's an unpaid voluntary role. It will involve meeting once a quarter or once a block with the National Performance Manager, so myself, and the Regional Academy managers through an online platform or at an event, so we can discuss some issues. It will involve a lot of ad hoc conversations, I'm sure, with the Regional Academy managers in your specific regions. And finally, just speaking with other parents and relaying the information and the issues that were shared and discussed at those meetings. As I said, this is what the ideal kind of makeup, if you like, would look like in terms of the reps. And if you're interested in becoming a parent rep in your region, please email your respective Regional Academy manager if you're interested by 30th of September. Progression opportunities. We spoke about the Futures program earlier on, and most of you will be aware that the Futures program is the extension, if you like, of the Regional Academy and National Academy programs, our DICE program, which aim to select a squad to attend training camps and to attend a tournament abroad. This squad will be going, or the squads, because there's two, boys and girls squads, will be attending a tournament in Denmark next summer. It's open to players that in the under 17 age group, so that's players born 2005 and 2006. The first squads have been selected for the September and October camp. The first training camp is taking place this weekend. The next camps will take place in January and March, and more information will come out, and the selection will take place in December for those ones. Mentioned the Diploma in Sport and Excellence. If you're already in year 12 and not on the program, then unfortunately it's too late to apply for this program. We've made our selections already. If you're currently in year 11 and on this call, then the applications will open in April 2022. And then I suppose something that everyone who's involved in the performance handball will be interested in is that youth national team selection. This commences at under 17 for female, so 2005, 2006, and 2004, 2005 for males. So there are calls. There is a call after this one for the under 18 boys, and there's a call on Thursday for girls that are progressing from the under 17. So if they're born 2003, 2004, any girls that are on this call and haven't received a link to the call on Thursday, please let me know and I'll forward the link on to you. That's where those programs will be discussed. And then the only other aspect for me to talk about is the Elite Performance Academy at Loughborough. This year we've had two players that have gone who have just finished year 12, moving into year 13. They've actually changed their courses and moved to the Elite Performance Centre that we've got at Loughborough College. I think most of the people on the call will know about it already. I'm going to refrain, Joao, from you presenting your one, and we'll send out the previous clip on the call earlier on with this information, so that players can access that, if that's okay with you, just because we're going to run tight of time. But just for those players that haven't seen this program before, it's essentially that full-time training opportunity that we think is going to be the enabler of athletes to reach those high performance standards in terms of representing Great Britain youth age groups, and not just representing but competing, getting to a level where we can compete with our rivals in Europe. You can undertake your further education alongside the program here at Loughborough College. The cost of the program about £5,000 per year for accommodation. There's no other cost associated with it apart from the fact that it's a self-catering program. And when this presentation is sent out, there will be this presentation sent out, and there's the link here where you can go and access it at the England Handball website to get more information about the program. Just a little bit more about the administration part. So players that are new to the program will receive training top in due course. It will probably arrive before the tournament in September. Our suppliers, MJM, are experiencing very high demand across a number of their other partners that they work with, in addition to some import problems in terms of delays getting shipments over from Europe. But it's important that those are in place by December. Regional Academy payments. So for this program, everyone will probably appreciate this is a self-funded program. We don't receive any funding from Sport England to run this project, and we divide the payments into 3 blocks. And it would be appreciated if people paid those in those blocks that are sent out in the Regional Academy payment terms. It just helps with our administration, and especially when an athlete might drop out, or we might remove an athlete for a certain reason. that the payments are made in those blocks and there's no payments made for the whole year. And then in terms of the communication, everyone on the call will probably be familiar with the Regional Academy manager sending out most of the emails. I took a little bit more ownership of some stuff last year, and I've promised them that I will give some ownership back to the Regional Academy managers this year. So they should be your first point of contact. But as I've spoken to a lot of parents over the last few weeks, my phone is on and my inbox is always open to discuss any questions or concerns that you guys might have. That is everything from my end. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to take some questions. So if you've got some questions,